Hello, and welcome to the Unpacked and Empowered Plus Finances podcast, a space where we dive into personal growth, financial empowerment, and real stories from fellow newcomers navigating life in Canada. This podcast is your go to for self improvement tips, financial literacy, and authentic conversations with inspiring individuals, whether they're building businesses, managing careers, or sharing their expert insights to uplift our communities.
So this morning, I attended a Women's Career Expo hosted by Envision St. John here in St. John, New Brunswick. And I just feel like it would be good for me to attend so that I can give more value to newcomers like myself who are maybe stuck in a job right now and cannot participate in these types of events that are happening from 9 to 5. And so here goes some of the notes that I made that hopefully would help you if you're on the road to finding a new job or furthering your career, or if you're someone who want to start a business as well or be an entrepreneur, but mostly really just getting started because it's gonna be a challenge for us to be masters of our finances if we don't know where to get the income. So here goes. One of the messages from Donna Reardon, the mayor of St. John, who is also just the third woman mayor of St. John, New Brunswick, among I think 79 mayors, is what she said. So she said to make sure to open the door when opportunity knocks. If you want things, go after them. There's also a panel session that's titled Breaking Barriers in the Local Economy. And the speakers are Kathy Simpson, a Tech Impact CEO, Jillian McKinnon, she works for Envision St. John. They are actually the ones who promoted Discover St. John. And Shamim, who is a realtor as well. So one of the things that I really like what they said, Jillian said, take what you learn and apply it in a different way. So I think the commonality is that the speakers didn't necessarily go for they didn't necessarily go for a specific field that they studied, but the goal was to find something that a job requires and that you are good at. It's not necessary to be like to hit every single skill in that job requirement, but as long as you know, hey, my skills are transferable, why not apply for the job? I don't have to be 100% qualified to get it, right? So take what you learn and apply it in a different ways from Jillian McKinnon. So she got a journalism degree, but she applied for a job just because she noticed that one of the requirements is that you have to know copywriting, and she's learned that from her degree. So she applied anyway. So be open to challenges and changes and possibilities as well. Now, Shamim, the realtor, she is also a newcomer in St. John. She was originally from Toronto or Ontario. And what she did is she just, even though she's not very confident in the beginning, she still tried to reach out to the local community, and that's how she got started. She started volunteering at helped her build a community, and they even created the Rose Quispamsis Community Network. That's a Facebook group as well. And then one of them also mentioned the pathway you started doesn't need to be the pathway you stay at. So regardless of what your background studies are, it doesn't mean that you have to be confined in that. You don't have to put yourself in a box. Choose the path that lets you grow. That's for me. So work smarter, taking small steps to do what is difficult and better, thinking out of the box. And also, they mentioned the 4 sectors that are booming, or which are, we might say, growth areas in St. John that you might want to factor in terms of considering which industry to pursue. So one of them is the energy sector. So clean energy is what they're gearing at. Transportation and logistics. So we need people at the port. And then health innovation. So we need that here in St. John, or not specifically just in St. John, but New Brunswick. So health innovation, you can be someone who is from the healthcare, or you know something you could contribute in that sector. And then also the tourism sector is one of the growth areas of St. John. So if you're someone who is inclined to welcome, so welcoming, hospitality, those are the things that they would consider. So those are the four sectors or growth areas in St. John. And as for community network online, so for the tech sector, make sure to look for the Job Seeker Network Online by Tech Impact. One of the questions that they asked as well to the panelists were, what advice would you give to your younger self? And Jillian said, you don't have to be an expert. So you don't have to know everything. You can ask questions, and that way you can learn. And at the same time, be generous with your time. So take questions from people who need it as well. So you're not just taking, so you're not just asking, so you can learn. If you learn something, you have to share it as well. So that way you grow not just professionally, but also you learn how to give. Be generous. And then there's also one of them advised, spend time with people who value what you value. Create an inventory and list what you actually want to do, like an inventory of the things that you are really good at or what your current skills are, and then make another list to know exactly what you want to do, and then you would focus on that. Again, don't forget transferable skills. In my personal experience, I worked for Burger King when I moved here to Canada, and I wasn't expecting that was one of the factors that would be considered for me to be able to work in supply chain. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity as well when I had the chance. Now, things that you would look for is a mentor and also a champion. So mentor is people who would teach you how to get there, and champions are people who would vouch for you. So they said, like, okay, so this is, for example, me, I would definitely vouch for you to be hired. You can't not hire this person. That's a champion. And then what advice, again, going back to the question, what advice would you give to your younger self? Was one of the questions asked to the CEO, and they actually recommended to build your brand early. So even starting at 16 years old, you can do volunteering as well as be participative in sports, because that gets you recognized, that builds your brand, and eventually as you grow, as you do have some things to show for, even if you don't have like an actual work experience, that's something that builds you as a person. And then demonstrate value in your resume. Focus on skills that stand out to the specific job that you're applying for. So again, going back to my example of working for Burger King, one of them actually mentioned, even if you think you don't need to include your retail experience, please include that, because that still shows that whatever it is, you can do anything. Okay, so that shows that you are willing to do the work, and those occupations really help the economy as well. Now, be kind to yourself. Show up the way you want to show up for yourself. Demonstrate how and what you want to do in your career, and just do the head start. I know networking is very, like, it can give you anxiety, especially if you don't want to introduce yourself. And I myself, I'm still a very shy person when it comes to networking, but I still push myself to go there. And I realized that you don't have to meet everyone. You like go to these events, go to any place where you can learn from people. You can get to know about get to know about them, get to know about how they reach their success, and how you can help them as well. And if that question was asked to me, like, what advice would I give to my younger self, it'll be more on, again, be kind to yourself. No matter what your education was, or no matter how you think you have lack of education in something, even if you think that your English is not very good, it doesn't matter. As long as you start, as long as you try, you learn from things. And I would say that never stop learning is really very, very important to grow. So that's all that I want to share. I hope you found value in this, because like I said, if we are stuck in a job that we don't like to do, or if we are stuck in something that keeps us from growing, keeps us away from growing, then we have to find things that would actually help us. And this is what I think would help as well. I think that when you're happy with your career, eventually everything will fall into place and your finances will grow. You'll be more confident in how you're budgeting. You'll be more confident in putting your hard-earned money to where it will actually help you in the future. Yeah, so those are just some of my thoughts about it, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. And as always, I also advise you to pray for it. So if you're praying for a job, praying for a specific company to work for, don't forget,